would not. Like I wanted to, but I just couldn't.
It's
and
tough, man.
Hey, this is a shout out to the whole.
It's tough.
the companies that have been down there or grown up, like these are like almost everybody that was a part of that bank were millionaires, and
And
it's
and,
like
and all these banks are connected, and with Wall Street, and with um, the, the way the economy is set up. It's like a domino effect. This can trigger other banks. Let's play a little bit of this.
Here is that our secretary
Can get your reaction to the failure of Silicon Valley Bank and whether you're concerned that other banks may fail as well.
so sure. So the most important thing that I will say here is that our Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary Yellen, is closely tracking the developments with the Silicon Valley Bank. What I will emphasize as well is that our banking system is in a fundamentally different place than it was, a decade ago, and that the reforms that were put into place back then really provide the kind of resilience that we'd like to see. So we have every faith in our regulators, and we can see that today. But Secretary Yellen is.
One more on that same topic. The government obviously insures up to $250,000, but this bank served a lot of tech companies that obviously had a lot more money stored with them. So how concerned are you that we could see a ripple effect just throughout this specific sector?
So two things. One, I'll refer you to the FDIC for how they intend to handle, they're insured up to 250 and how they'll handle those with balances above that. And the second, I just want to reemphasize that we are in a fundamentally different position. That with the reforms of the global financial crisis of 2007, 2008, we've put in place stress tests and other tools that our regulators have to provide more resilience to our banking system. So, Secretary Yellen is watching this closely. Our regulators, we have every faith that they will be as well.
Her head bobs around more than a dashboard figure.
And who the hell is this lady? And you can just tell that she's just repeating like talking points. Like,
well, yeah, because I was wondering where is the real press secretary.
It's almost like the head shakes. If you watch why she's talking, the head shakes in the hands. They're doing a beat, counter beat. Like she memorized these and wrote and is trying to say them the same way.
Yeah. Well,
and it was all like on an exhalation too, like, you're asking this and I have to answer it.
I think
this is what they told, and this is what they told me to say. So I'm going to say this and make sure it comes across properly.
Saber, just think about the stress that woman is under. The regular press secretary, her always having to lie or put up with say different things. Just dealing with all the crap that comes along with being the press secretary of Joe Biden.
The funny thing is, I actually like the blonde chick that 45 had. She was a smartass and ripped back. I mean, these other ones, they just seem a little nasty.
Well, you see those people,
or just dumb.
Well, that job is hard. That job is so difficult. You see how many? How many they've gone through? They go through
one mispronunciation of a word can actually cause an entire media outrage in a country to get mad.
They keep going through them like crazy. Like I say, I don't even know who this lady is. It's my first time seeing her.
Same here.
She's part of the. I can't remember. They said something about her. She's part of the finance White House situation.
Okay, so
yeah, she's not the president's. The other chick or the other chick is still the president's one. This is a non-presidential debrief or question and answer.
But she's speaking for the White House.
Yeah, but she's not the chief press secretary. She's a different title.
Yeah, I figure she might work for the office of that in the office of the press secretary.
She's working for one of the finance departments because she said, okay, you need to refer to the FDIC commissioner or branch for that particular information of how they're going to handle it.
Yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Politician.
Well, look, I want to remind y'all.
Years.
I want to remind y'all that not long ago, something that, well, do y'all remember when Biden shut down? He threatened all of the U.S. citizens that were working in China to help with this. It's the chips. It was some kind of, they were working on building chips or whatever, and he pretty much threatened them that if y'all, okay, either y'all want to lose your citizenship, or because if you want to stay in work in China or whatever, but if you do, you lose your citizenship. A bunch of them packed up and left China, came back home. So there's somewhat of a threat with the tech, the dealings between America and China on that end. And as far as Silicon Valley and that connection with China, I think that has a lot to do with the fall of.
If China moves on Taiwan and takes Taiwan, 96% or 94% of the chip printing industry is China.
It's toasted. So that's where they all come from. Let me read the caption. It says, at yesterday's White House press briefing, top White House economists, responded to the failure of Silicon Valley Bank. Fuel your success with Forbes. Gain unlimited access to premium journalism. Oh, they're just doing their ad. Let me play a little bit more of her.
Come on. Which one?
Director, you're not escaping me today. We got pros to talk about. But first, just to follow up on Mary's question, I think one thing that's different in the wake of 2008, despite everything that's been put in place in the wake of Dodd-Frank, is interest rate risk is at a level right now that perhaps banks haven't been dealing with for a very long time. Do you feel comfortable that the banking industry writ large is both cognizant of the risk and prepared for it in a different way than maybe SVB was?
So what I would say is that our banking system understands these kinds of heightened risks, and that I have full faith and confidence in our regulators. Secretary Yellen has been in conversation with our regulators, with the Federal Reserve, with the Office of the Comptroller, so that they can be monitoring the situation. And they are very acutely aware of these risks, more than we are, and we have full faith and confidence that they will be tracking. They have better tools than they had in 2008, and the banking.
She basically keeps saying the same thing over and over, like a broken record. We got full faith.
It's got to be hard to be the press secretary for Biden and Kamala for this administration.
I almost would rather be his than hers.
All right, let me see.
I'd almost rather be his press secretary than hers.
So this is another one that y'all sent me. It says Silicon Valley Bank tries to prevent bank run after shocking collapse. And I mentioned in the other show how, like, back in the days when we had the Great Depression and everybody went to the banks to get their money, and the banks was like, we don't have that money.
Well, see, they're only required by law to have like 20% or 10 or 20% of cash invested available on hand. So if they've got $1 million, they only have to have like 100,000, 200,000 on hand.
But
so if you get a big bank run, especially one with that much in there,
but see,
that can wipe out your cash supply quick.
But listen, that's not
It
the
shouldn't
problem.
even be, yeah, because they could just do it
That,
on the computer. That's why you know it's a
yeah,
freaking ripoff. I saw a post just today. Dr. Boyce
Well, no,
Watkins.
that's funds available. It's they don't store every bit of those digits. A bank takes your money, makes investments with it, and then takes the interest
hmm
off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that's like I said, even if it's a digital run, that's still a run. If you're pulling it out digitally, that's the same as going to the bank and going, "I want my cash now."
because
well,
they
just think
can't
So
about
if they
this.
flip
don't have those available right there, they only have to have 20% of that available
because they're
at any
busy
one
flipping.
moment.
Because they're busy
They don't
flipping
even
it.
Exactly.
have that much.
Yeah.
They don't even have that
How
much
do you
available.
think banks make money? They make money on flipping interest. They make money on loans.
And
I mean, it's not
investments.
a bad and evil thing until it's allowed to be, or until
Yes.
it's not regulated.
So Dr. Boyce Watkins posted today. He said that how come it takes 7 to 10 business days for them to give you your money back, and he said it take how did it go 3 seconds for them to take it out or whatever, and then you got to wait
because
7 to 10
because
business.
when you're pulling money out, it's just like, say, have you don't I take it I can pretty much tell you don't have a stock account or anything like that started. If you've got money in your stock account, you don't just go boom and get your cash. You have to put your stock up for sale. The sale has to go through, and then you have to get your money. That takes a couple of days, and sometimes it can take more if that particular stock is up or down or whatever.
I get that,
Yeah.
but we're just talking about a plain old bank account
Well, see,
where
the whole bank run. Listen, they're saying like they're trying to stop people from doing a bank run, and you started out good when you're saying like as far as the surplus of actual physical dollars, but the problem is okay they don't have to have that much on hand, but when they're we're talking about millions of dollars that people are saying they feel it's a problem they want to come and get their money out. Well, that's how the whole bank is defaulting right now is because there's too
Right.
many people trying to take out money because this is not even investment money. Only the bank is doing the investment. This is just holding. This is just supposedly protecting your money,
right
having a
this
place for you to
the
go.
safe place that you're supposed to
Yeah,
be able to store your money.
but because they've had so many losses because they didn't think that people were going to be coming and be like, hey, hey, you got $10 million in there for me, I want my $10 million. Oh, I got 2 million. Oh, I got 25, I got 500 million. And guess what, FDIC only insures 250,000. So
So
with the loss, these people like you talking about, especially the Silicon Valley Bank has probably, well, not the most millionaires, but you got to think most of the people that are there are millionaires because of the boom that's happened over the last decade or so in Silicon Valley.
and they took over that bank